Good day, my name is Doug, and I am playing the Crust. And this is version 0.99.63. Yes, yet another update. And as a result, I'm going to go ahead and start a new game. Now, I know that I had promised someone that I was going to do a sandbox this time, but I really want to take the storyline past the asteroid hitting Earth, which I have not yet gotten past. So, we will go ahead and redo storyline this time. There are other creators who do sandbox, which is simply just a free form of the game. There's no storyline, and if you're really interested in seeing that, then I will point you at them. But I am going to play a storyline, and as soon as we get things going, we will go ahead and get it started. I have received some feedback on my presentation method, which I was looking for. I will try and incorporate some of the suggestions into this playthrough, and we will see if I am able to manage it. Mostly it will involve explaining what I am doing a little bit more and the logic that I am using behind it. And you can agree or disagree with that logic. I'm happy to discuss it. It helps me think it through. And if you think I'm doing something the wrong way, please let me know. I will be happy to take a look at changing it.
This is an emergency broadcast. We have detected an imminent asteroid collision with the moon's surface. We are currently assessing the extent of the damage and the number of casualties. At this moment, our teams are working tirelessly to restore communication with lunar outposts. For those still on the moon, be aware that we are mobilizing all available resources to assist you. Conserve your energy and ration your supplies until further notice. Additional information will be provided as the situation unfolds. Stay tuned for updates. Over and out.
I repeat, Crust has declared a state of emergency of the first degree. Commercial shipments and cargo landings are prohibited. All complexes, resources, and facilities on the moon are now under Crust control. All remaining facilities should switch to emergency frequency and report their status. Conserve energy and resources and await further instructions.
What's happening? Director, can you hear me? We're receiving reports that a meteorite collided with the moon and the state of emergency has been declared. Director, confirm you're on the line right now. You could have done it more quickly and spared me the worry. Director, there's still no signal from the personnel of the base. I'll try again, but my hope is dwindling. Robert, come in. Robert, do you copy? Robert, damn it, come in. There appear to be no survivors. I'm glad you were on the orbital station when the collision happened. I suggest you stay there as long as possible. We should try to hold out until logistics with Earth are restored. Start with electricity. We still have resources and functional drones. That should be enough for a few solar panels and batteries.
Okay. Now, I know some creators like to chop out all the dialogue. I like to believe that there are people who have never played this game who are joining me maybe for the first time. My statistics tend to support that. So I will include the dialogue. If it bores you, I'm sorry. We can work something out later. But for right now, I'm going to continue to include it. Okay, so what we need to do is plant some solar panels. And right now, these are all the ones I have. I normally plant these someplace else, but this time I'm going to try and put them along here.
Judging by the seismic activity, the meteorite impact occurred on the far side of the moon. We're lucky it happened so far away from our mission, but the strength of the blast wave raises a lot of questions.
Is that all the head of the research department can say? Somewhere far away there was an explosion and we don't know the cause?
Because scientists are working with proven facts, not speculating on fragmentary evidence. Much more data would be needed to reach the conclusions.
Okay, and batteries. Need to put in batteries as well. Because in the dark of the night, there is no light. Now I'm holding the shift key down in order to do repeated. Otherwise it would just do the one, but because I held the shift key down, I was able to do repeats.
We have electricity, but our resource reserves are almost depleted. We need to restore production as soon as possible. Let's start with repairing the elevator to gain access to the underground level. Then build a charging station for the drones. Make sure that elevator and charging station are connected to the power network.
Okay, going underground. I have to build the charging station first. Okay. Put that right there.
The explosion destroyed everything on the surface, but there may still be mining modules underground. We need to go down and see what we have left.
Okay, and then
Director,
we need to set up power.
Connect the power supply to the underground level. Connect the elevator and electrical pole with wires so we can see the scale of the damages. That's better. I see that we have a module to produce smart concrete, but we have an urgent need to resume production of steel and silicone. Director, I have an idea. First, convert 5 drones into miners, and we'll proceed.
The drone reconfiguration module allows up to 5 drones to be converted into mining drones and vice versa.
Okay, so we've converted half of our drones, well, a third of our drones.
But to start producing any resource, the relevant oxides are always needed. We will now mine them with the mining drones. Director, we have access to iron and silicone veins. Assign drones to mine the resources from the veins to supply the processing modules with raw materials.
Enter excavation mode and assign mining drones to mine resources directly from a vein.
Okay. I only assign 1 drone per, because that keeps most of my mines or miners available.
Watch mining drones extract the oxides, and working drones deliver them to the smelting furnace. You can adjust the game speed by selecting the desired speed using the interface or the hotkeys 1, 2, 3. This feature can help speed up the building process. Alternatively, you can pause the game to plan your future base at a relaxed pace.
Director, you can never have too much smart concrete, so it's worth spending time to produce it. For this purpose, we have a pressing module, which may not be the most efficient way, but it's good enough to start with. The pressing module requires only regolith, which is a type of lunar dirt plentiful here. Assign mining drones to the evacuation so that we have the resources we need. 3 drones will deliver the regolith to production themselves.
And this is why I've kept 3 of my mining drones available. So I happen to know I'm going to need things down and around here. So we will square this off. much. But we will clean that out. And we will run this guy down. So that's all nicely squared off. And we will go ahead and remove that. I'll be back there in a bit. Now, for those of you who watched me play the game before, you'll know I'm a bit fussy about my corners. I do like to have them done. Have them squared off, as it were. Okay. Although I am doing this a bit differently than I've done in the past. That's that one. Now, these guys are doing a couple of things. One, the mining drones that are on the ore, they're delivering their ores directly to these smelting units, as you see right there. Now, this works for a large part, but...
Director, we're getting word of supply shortages from almost everywhere on Earth. The explosion cut off most of the supply channels from the moon. Millions of people are in need of resources, and we can satisfy that demand. Supplies used to run through the contract system, but it came to a complete halt after the explosion. We might be able to fix that.
Well, that's a start. There should be enough smart concrete for the first time.
You can see your numbers over on this side. So I have 29 smart concrete, which is wrong because I have 32 just sitting here. Huh. I'm not sure why that didn't show it correctly. Crust representative is attempting to contact us. The company solely owns the space elevator. Such people cannot be refused. Let's go ahead and pause things. I'd hoped that they had fixed this issue with the scripts not being spoken. I'll have to point that out. Director, my name is Clyde Draper. I represent the interests of Crust. We are engaged in the study of surviving bases, and your facility stands out for its potential. It is in our mutual interest to restore resource extraction and production as soon as possible. We are ready to provide you with scientific resources, but in return we expect your support when the time comes. When will it be needed? It's amusing how confidently Clyde speaks about future collaboration.
Well, let's not waste any time. Professor, you prepared a research plan before starting the expedition, didn't you?
Absolutely. First, we need to increase production. We have smelting furnaces, but we need extractors and refineries to extract the oxides. Director, Crust has handed us the research plan, and we're ready to begin. Research underground mining and place 2 extractors on the iron and silicon veins.
Okay, so now we see that we do have some research income, and by the exclamation point it means we're not using it. Whoops, wrong one. So we will go to the research menu, and we need the extractor, and I happen to know how the front part of this works. We're going to need that, and we'll need that and that. Now that's going to represent a fair amount of research, a couple days worth. We'll let it go. Need to unpause. This also shows you the, call them quests that you're supposed to get done. You get rewards when you finish this stuff. Now this will accept regolith from the ground as long as there is no input conveyor. We'll get into conveyors in a little bit, but because there's no input conveyor, the drones can drop off material there. %, on our research. So less than a day. %. Just to speed things up, I'm going to go to speed 3 because we're not doing anything else. Oh, wait, one thing.
Research complete.
Okay, research complete. That would be the extractors. Go to the researches. See, we have 2 days until the refinery. So, let's see here. Now, this is a decision point because you have to decide which way you're going to have these guys. And you also want to see if you can fit more than one onto an extract or onto an ore pile. So, when it turns blue, that's when it will fit. 2, 3, 2. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't forget that extractors need electricity. Hold down shift to build a chain of utility poles.
And I'm just seeing if I can get another one on here. Does not look like it. 8. Yep, nope. So, need to rotate that around. Okay, that's the first place it can go. 1, nope. Yeah, that's the only place it's gonna go. Okay, now we need to run power there. And if we will hold the shift key down again and get it that way. Same thing here. Now the one thing we have to be aware of with power, can't go right next to the lunar wall. It has to be at least one step away from it. And that circle is as far as it can go. You can actually extend it one more, but when you're placing them, you really can't. Okay, see how it goes a little bit beyond the circle there. Now, they won't have power until they're actually built. You can see this one being built. And now we have power.
Objective achieved.
I see. The data that the extractors have started mining. Now, finish the research and build 2 regolith refineries for producing iron and silicon, respectively.
Now, one thing that you have to remember to do is to release the drillers because they are no longer necessary. That is what the extractor is doing.
Director, place the regolith refineries similarly to optimize future production.
Okay, now this is where I disagree with how they want me to run the game. I do not put the regulators down there. Matter of fact, I'll be rebuilding the smelters here momentarily, but rather I put them up here. near the extractor.
A single regolith refinery extracts the necessary oxides from the regolith by thermal treatment. The process leaves slag that can also be used in production.
You have to remember to select the recipe. Okay. Now this one is not built yet. Well, I get the first one in. Extractor. You cannot put anything next to the wall. So we'll have to wait. Yep. Research complete. Okay, we're still building those. Okay. Now you can see it's delivering
Research complete.
ore from the extractor to the smelter, or not to the smelter, well, to the refinery, and then the refinery they carry it down to the smelter. Okay, now we have conveyors. Now this is where we start to mess with the drones. When we build the conveyor, it's being transported automatically from here to here, and the drones will not interfere with that, although they will still take it from here down to here. Now, this is the thing that you have to remember when you're playing this game. Conveyors and power will cost you credits. Infrastructure costs you resources. So in order to pay for this conveyor, I had to bring out of my budget. Same will happen on this side. When you are placing these, you have to keep in mind that they are directional. Oops. Here we go. So, ore goes in on one side, and refined material comes out on the other. The other thing you have to know is that this represents hard rock that until you do the research for it, you can't get into. So everything that I had marked for, there we go, everything I had marked over here is going to be blocked by this hard rock. Okay, build power. There we go. And a recipe we are going to make. Silicon oxide. Now, I'll have to wait until this gets built, obviously. It's being built right now. And I need to have this area cleared very quickly.
Objective achieved.
So we're going to make this a priority.
Is a mono-refinery that can only produce one type of oxide at a time. Be sure to select the recipes for iron and silicon oxide to start production.
And that will set it as a priority for the drillers. Okay, now we have all three types of science points. It's going to explain it now.
Director, a conveyor belt will speed up production and eliminate the need for drones in resource delivery. I advise you to keep an eye on this technology.
You heard him, Director. Now we have a steel production chain, but we can increase its efficiency by connecting the modules with conveyor belts. It will reduce the load for drones and speed up production. Exactly what we need right now.
Use the conveyor tool and connect the extractor to the refinery and smelting furnace. This way, the resource-rich regolith will go into the refinery without needing to engage drones. Optimization at its best.
Well, this took me a bit of time to understand these ore. Excuse me. The ore veins showed what the percentage. Excuse me. Wow.
Research complete.
Wow, excuse me. Okay. We don't want that. Wow, excuse me. As I was trying to say, this is optimized for silicon production. This is optimized for steel production, and it reduces the amount of slag. It reduces the amount of slag that's produced. Yeah. You'll have to excuse me. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Man, that was uncomfortable. Sorry about that. Sorry, I can't talk for a bit.
Director, our energy reserves are almost at zero. The moon has a long day-night cycle. Make sure we have enough solar panels to charge the batteries during the solar phase. In the event of an urgent power shortage, modules with low priority are the first to be disconnected from the network. You can manually disable modules that are not needed at the moment to optimize consumption.
And I will be right back. I apologize. Oh, crap. I apologize about that. Once I started sneezing, I realized I better make a run to the bathroom and attend to other issues. Okay. So, need to take care of power. And in the early part of the game, you struggle with power. Quite a bit, actually. I have always found that it's best to have twice as many panels of the small solar panels as you do batteries. But how you handle that is up to you. And then we wire it all in. And we have lots of concrete, we have lots of steel. And that gets to be important. And while we are here, hope we don't have the components or the larger storage yet. But we do have that. Yeah, so it was always an issue. So we'll stick that right there. And it looks like we have mining drones which are bored. Cannot have that. Must keep the mining drones from getting too bored. So we will go ahead and set this up. And for right now, I'm just going to have this set up like that.
Objective achieved.
Now, even when you are out of power, the conveyors will run.
Crust's tasks require significant resource investment, which means we need to seriously expand our manufacturing capabilities. Let's start producing components. We need titanium to manufacture parts. Find titanium deposits among the regolith using an ore detector to seriously expand our manufacturing capabilities. Let's start producing components.
Okay. So, on a purely personal note, I like to have a charging station down here because it helps keep my drones charged. Now, we won't be able to do anything with that until we have power, but once we do, they'll be able to charge down here. And where you can tell if you got power or not, one is here at night and then here during the day. And here's our day-night cycle right here, right now it's 3 days until night, or until dawn. So we're out of power until then. Let's go ahead and go to a higher speed, just simply because nothing's going to happen overnight. Oh wait, I do want to do one thing. Just simply because I've got the part or the components to do this, and I know that I'm going to need power. Whoops, wrong key. Excuse me.
Unknown caller.
I don't know who this is. Hang on, please. Hi, this is Doug.
This is Valen over at Banfield Cedar Mill.
Yes, hello.
I'm just calling to confirm. Hi, I'm just calling to confirm Bob's appointment tomorrow for a drop-off at 9:30.
Yes, at 9:30.
Great, we'll see you then.
Yep, thank you. Have a nice night. Or day, or whatever.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Research complete.
That was the vet calling to confirm that I'm dropping the dog off tomorrow. Okay. So, here we go. Yes, I do have a dog. His name is Bob. If you've been following me for a while, he's the one who keeps interrupting me when I'm playing. Because he will decide he wants to go out. Or he wants attention. Or he's just in a pissy mood. And I have to pay attention to him. Okay, research complete. And I don't have any social running right now. So let's go ahead and do that. Now partly I'm running this off of what I know because I've been playing this game for a while. What I just did was go into the online market, which is one of the things that Ledger is going to be asking for so far as making money. The other thing will be landing pads, which I am researching, and that is in the fundamental path and is going to be researched after automatic repair. Again, I set these up because I know how the game is going to run and I want to keep it moving. Getting this done, hard rock drilling, actually automatic repair I think is a little bit more important than that. So I just put that above there and you'll notice that the blue switched over to it. It'll be 10 days until automatic repair is done. All of those that have, all of these are running right now based on these points. And these are daily points. Speak okay. Module needs repair. So until the automatic repair comes into play, we have to manually go and fix those. Once the automatic repair kicks in, it will be taken care of automatically. We don't have to worry about it. Okay. And we need to do the whole drilling thing. Okay, these guys are going to be busy for a long time to come because I am marking out a huge area for them to drill out, but it will square off my living area. And all of this is actually temporary because once I get my regolith refineries researched, I'll be rebuilding this whole thing. Hi I guess that's all I can work out right now. Okay, so we are getting into daylight. And here we have power coming back online. So back up here, and just to make sure I make it through tomorrow night, we're going to set more batteries up. Now for me, unfortunately, setting up power is always a struggle in the early game. So I'm trying to catch it in advance. Now you'll notice all these little red marks over here. That means that they need power. So hopefully they'll start charging themselves, because that will make them go faster. There we go. Now you may notice that this pile is just kind of sitting there. It has been for a while. That's because there's a conveyor running into this smelter, and so they will. Whoops. I remind you that it is not necessary to assign repair tasks to drones manually. To activate the automatic repair functionality, conduct the corresponding research in the fundamental section, which I just finished saying that I did. But because we don't have anything, because we have a conveyor running into this refinery, the drones will not carry this there. And all of the rock that has been drilled out is turning into regolith. And there is no conveyor going in here, so they're carrying it all in. Slowly but surely. And drone is just about out of power. So it's going to the elevator, probably to go to the upper charger. No, it's still working. Appears to be the last drone that needs to be charged. I imagine it's going to a charge now. Here we go. Okay, and then one final thing that we need to do is build the ore detector, which I will put right there for now. And it's going to need power. 4.5 days left until we have automatic repair.
Don't forget to connect it to the network. The ore detector uses battery power to run the scans. The further the scanning area is, the more power it requires. Select the finished ore detector and scan the regolith around it. You need to find the nearest deposits to install extractors on them. Important, using the detector consumes battery charge. The larger the scanning area, the more battery charge is consumed. Remember this, and don't leave your base without electricity.
Okay. So, it's coming into daylight.
Director, our operation requires a colossal amount of funds. The budget is stretched to its limits, and there are no new investments in sight. We need to come up with something urgently.
I want to wait
I
till
have
we
a
have more
solution to our
power there.
problems, Director. We can establish trade with other organizations on the moon. This way, surplus resources are converted into money, which we currently lack. To send resources, we need a landing platform. And to access the market, we need to research the online market.
This is why you get paid the big bucks, Ledger. Great idea. Director, let's get started immediately. Research and construction will take some time.
So that will be because we researched the online market, or we need finished the access to the tender system, and we're researching the online market. So we're going to need this, which we'll have in 8.6 days, and we'll need this, which we haven't really started researching yet. And I'm going to go to speed 3 just to move the day a little bit faster so we can gain more.
Director, I consider it my duty to remind you that lunar research is divided into 3 main fields: fundamental, engineering, and social. Each laboratory is capable of conducting independent research, but studying certain technologies may require the cooperation of multiple fields. All available research is grouped into 3 main directions: fundamental, engineering, and social. Fundamental research is responsible for logistics and communication with other organizations, as well as drone improvements. Engineering research helps develop mining and production. Social research ensures that colonists at the base live and work comfortably. Some research requires multiple types of science points at once. You can assign tasks in different sections, and then the research plan will be conducted in parallel. The speed of research depends on your science points income.
Complete.
You can always rearrange your research to actualize the priorities for your current goals.
Okay, research
Halfway
complete.
there, but we still need the landing platform. The sooner we finish building it, the sooner we can make money.
That will be the online market. Right now we only have blue going, so we're going to need orange and green. Orange is engineering. Okay. And that's the whole components thing. And green is social. We will get a nice extractor going. Okay, we have a nice midday. We have a decent amount of power. Not great. But let's go ahead and do some searching.
Objective achieved.
So there's water and there's titanium, and we get a reward of 80, well 240, but 80 points each for 90 days.
Great job. Now build a components factory and supply with titanium and steel. I'm sure, Director, this will be an easy task for you.
Okay. Now, in order to take advantage of this, we are going to need... Oh, geez. Okay, well, we'll have to wait. But
Director, here's the latest news regarding contracts. To resume shipments to Earth, we'll need to restore communication and significantly expand production. If we manage this in the near term, I'll negotiate an extremely lucrative contract with the aerospace company FASM. They've lost their supplier and are willing to pay generously for an urgent order. I'm still looking into the matter, but be prepared to devote all resources to this effort if you want to maximize the benefits. I'll return as soon as new information becomes available.
okay. Oops. Something broke. Here it is. Get that fixed.
Research complete.
Need another pressing module. Whoops, wrong way. This is going to be in the way, so I'm going to get rid of it. But I will drop this one. Okay, electric pillar we will put right there. And then run power there. And then power there. Turn that one off. And put power there. Okay. And just to make things look a little neater, I will run power. That was my dog Bob, who wants attention. So, we will be calling the game here. This is probably good enough as it is. So let's go ahead and throw a pause on this. Hush up, kiddo. And I thank you for joining me. Whoops. If you have anything to say, if you enjoy the game or you enjoyed my presentation, please leave a like. If you have anything to say about my presentation style or play style, please leave a comment. I don't ask that you be nice. I just ask that you be civil. And beyond that, all the normal stuff. Like, share, comment, follow. Y'all have a good day. Take care.